While enjoying my usual Sunday morning coffee, I spotted a treasure, a 2010 iMac. I rushed downstairs. This i5 quad-core 16 gigs of RAM needs rescuing. It needs some cleaning, and we can get rid of the bloat by installing Zorin OS and turn it into a dedicated cybersecurity Linux beast. Installing Linux on a 2010 Mac is pretty easy, but it's not quite plug and play. Its legacy EFI and boot can act like a gatekeeper. If you hit a black screen on boot, don't panic. We're gonna go to the grub menu by hitting the E. Then we're gonna add Nomodeset into the boot line, and we're gonna force that gate open. Before, the Broadcom Wi-Fi chip would be kind of finicky, and without installing additional drivers, it'd be dead on arrival. If for some reason it's not working though, you'll have to plug in Ethernet or use a USB dongle so you can get Ethernet in there and get rid of that dead on arrival internet. That's really just the hardest part. Then once you're done with that, you can just go through the prompts like normal and install Zorin OS. And after all that's completed, you'll be greeted by a beautiful desktop that should look pretty familiar to what you're used to if you're used to using Windows. One of the first things you want to do that'll really make your life nice is if you go to display settings, since we're using a 1440, come down here to fractional scaling, and then we can change this to scale 125. That'll make everything a lot nicer when you open up terminal. As you can see, Zorin OS is pretty lightweight. So we have Firefox here. So if we come down here to Writer, we can open up Office. But if you're used to multitasking in Windows, you can kind of do the same thing here. Just slide that over there and then slide this here. With this 14-year-old quad-core i5 processor, we really just need a lightweight distro here. You can see this thing's barely using any of our resources. Hey guys, really quick, I'm at 289 subs and I'm trying to hit 300 by my birthday in July. So if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. With Zorin OS, you don't need the terminal for everything. You can Flatpak a lot. So if you come over here to the software, I need to install my NextCloud to connect to my NAS. So I just search for it. NextCloud desktop client, hit install, and you're good to go. That's it. One of the great things about Zorin OS is the customization you have between all the different appearances. You can do your background, or you can change the appearances to do something more like you're familiar with. Whether you have a Windows style or if you like a Mac OS style, even download and get different desktop layouts. I wouldn't recommend upgrading to Zorin OS Pro. I don't really think there's too much. This is kind of a Ubuntu style, but I think most people will be more than satisfied with these. And you have different themes. You can change the colors, accent colors and whatnot. You can add and subtract what you want easily from the desktop, whether you want to show trash, home, your network servers, how your windows act, and the different interface things and stuff it does, and of course your fonts. So you can customize it to give it a more familiar appearance depending on what you're used to. So what is the actual future of this machine? This is officially my dedicated cybersecurity workstation. With 16 gigs of RAM and a 1440p display that comes in beautifully, it's the perfect isolated environment for my labs and study sessions. Most people saw e-waste, I saw a Linux beast.